I wasn't there when case was called. So I asked the bailiff very quietly. I'm leaned over the counter talking to the bailiff. I said, what can I do? I said, he just stepped out as I'm walking in. I said I couldn't find a place to park when I got here because that's the first time I'd ever been to that court. He said, if you can get Mr. Bell to come back into the court, we will hear this case. I said, okay. I then very quickly exited the courtroom, and I told my daughter, I said, please stop him. Detain your dad.
You told your daughter to stop him?
Yes, I asked her. I said, talk to him, do whatever you need to do to detain your dad while I go get the bailiff, okay? Not a wise choice, I'll admit, but the only choice I made at that time. I went in to go get the bailiff. I told him again, I said, he is outside. As I walked in, I passed what I think was a police officer. He could have been a cadet. He was in a uniform. I don't recall seeing a gun on this gentleman, but I did ask him. I said, can you please go around the corner? You could hear their voices, my daughter and Ronald's at that time. I said, can you please go around the corner? My daughter may be in danger with her own father. Can you detain him,
Why did
please?
you think they were in danger?
Because I could hear his voice raising as I'm walking. And I told him, I said, can you please go back here and see what's going on while I get this bailiff? He's
You wanted somebody in a uniform to go out and detain him.
Please, I figure that that's, you know, our police department, that's my protection, or supposed to be.
So you told them that your daughter was in danger, go outside.
No, he was already outside. The officer was outside. He was probably from, I would say, about 15 feet away from me at that time.
So then what happened?
So the officer goes back there. I'm not seeing what the officer is doing. I go back inside the court and told the bailiff once again, I said, Mr. Bell is outside. There is an officer supposed to be detaining him. So he says, okay, I'm coming outside. I go back outside. By now, the officer is telling me, because I'm screaming again at Ronald to come on back in, that the bailiff is on his way. As I walk up, I hear my daughter telling Ronald, saying, don't you even care that I don't want anything to do with you? How can you be doing these things to myself, my mom, suing us for something we didn't even do? Ronnie turns around, and I hear him say to her, no, I don't care. She says, you don't care, I don't love you, I don't care for you anymore, I don't even want you as my father. He says, no, I don't care. That hurt worse than the court case did. So by now, the little officer, he hears me talking. I'm assuming again that he's an officer. He goes to walk off. I think he's going to get the bailiff. I did get very close to Mr. Bell by then because I'm
close?
Within 3 feet of him. I was very close. I was in his face. I was very close to him. And I told him, I said, how can you possibly look at your own daughter and say something like that to her? He reaches forward, and I told him, before he reached forward, I told him, I said, I've been afraid of you for a lot of years. I'm not afraid of you anymore. Just suddenly, the anger just overcame me, and I just was not afraid of him at that point, which I guess I should have been, because he took one step forward and with both hands placed them on my chest and gave me a shove, shoved me backwards. I have a police report right here that states that in it.
Well, the police report you made.
Yes, ma'am, the one I made to the police department. Okay,
you made
also,
to the police.
I have a doctor's statement, okay? If the judge would like to have these, I also have a doctor's statement stating that was my first day off crutches. I had been prescribed a wrist splint, crutches, and Darvocet for the previous injury that I had, as well as...
What does that have to do with
Because what I'm going to tell you now is I have the statement from the treating physician saying that it was a re-injury to my wrist, which I still have a scar right here where it landed, my bracelet pierced into my skin when I landed backwards to break my fall. I landed on my tail, which bruised my lower back, and it re-injured my ankle, which is all right here in the doctor's report. I also
have you seen the doctor's report?
No, ma'am, I've seen nothing.
Here's the copy.
So you're suing for $5,000.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Bell, let's hear your side, sir.
Okay, Your Honor. First of all, I'd like to say this is a total lie. Since you started from, with my daughter and stuff, I'll start back there. We had gone to court several times. Ms. Gibson is saying that I don't love my daughter and all that. I do.
That is not true.
I didn't say anything.
Listen
we were talking.
to me. Let him speak.
Okay. Did he swear in though?
Yeah, everybody was sworn.
Okay.
For 18 years, I've had problems with her. My daughter was for 3 years in the area where I was. She moved to Fresno. In those years, I had to try to find my daughter. She'd move around like every 6 months, and I could hardly see her.